My journey started actually here in the UK. I was born in Sheffield. I hope you can detect my Yorkshire accent. But I was raised in Uganda, and my parents were both teachers. I went to, like many Africans, in boarding schools in Uganda, and then I went to university in North America. It was in North America while I was finished university, studied sociology, and I was pursuing a master's degree, and I applied for an internship. And when I applied for an internship, it was health-related, so I was told that you have to go through almost like an application process. You have to take loads of tests, and you know, I was saying, fine, you know, let's get all the tests done. When the tests, and these were blood tests, including, you know, written tests, oral tests, blood tests, all, you know, combination of things. When the blood tests came back, I was told that my blood tests were inconsistent. There were a lot of inconsistencies in my blood tests, and that I needed to take a whole range of other tests, including an HIV test. I was not focused on anything but this internship. When the blood tests came back, the HIV test was positive. This was 23 years ago. I was shocked, I was sad, I was, you know, you name it, all the kinds of, you know, different emotions. Needless to say, I didn't pursue the internship. I had other business to get on with, of either, you know, finding out whether I was going to die or, you know, or whatever. It was really one of the worst moments in my life. At that particular point, the new antiretroviral drug had just come out called AZT. And I was told that if I took it, my life would be prolonged. So I thought, give it to me. This is what I need. Between 1998 and 1994, I lost both my parents to different forms of cancer, and they were living in Uganda. And I lost a brother to HIV. That was half my family. I was left with 2 brothers and 1 sister. It was incredibly stressful, on top of everything I was going on. None of my friends knew about my status. I was dealing with it all by myself. The only person I had told was a boyfriend that I was dating at the time, and what he was worried about was he positive? How dare me infect him? And all of that, you know, stuff. Fortunately, when he tested, he was negative. And that was a relief for both of us. The relationship didn't last. When half of my family vanished, in 1994, I decided to leave North America with the sole purpose of going back to Uganda to die. And I nearly got my wish, because I went with 6 months worth of medication. It was dual therapy. It was 2 different tablets. We know now that, you know, you need a combination of 3 different tablets. So I was, you know, resistant to this medication anyway. But once it got finished, I got TB, I got pneumonia, I got diarrhea. If you think, well, whatever you think I look like, I was rail thin at that time. You know, the wind could come, you know, a strong wind like that blows around here sometimes, could, you know, just sweep me on. In Uganda, I grew tired of waiting for death, because I thought I was just going to drop down and die. But even with all of these opportunistic infections that I got, I didn't die. mainly because I had a supportive sister who actually was, was there for me. She knew exactly where to take me if I needed treatment. I had a little bit of money that I had come with, so I could actually, access private care. I was articulate. I wasn't living in denial about my HIV. All of this, the combination of all of this, is partly why I'm still alive. My brother who was living here, one of my brothers who was living here in 1996, 7, told me, why are you trying to kill yourself in Uganda? Why are you trying to kill yourself? You're a British citizen. You can live in Britain. Why are you still in Uganda and determined to die? And I thought, I'm done with living abroad. Uganda is where my heart belongs. That's my home. This is where I want to die. And I want to spare my family, which is, I was telling my brother this, thousands of pounds to bring my body back on a plane. Money that could probably pay for how many children in school, spent on my funeral, my body. I don't need that. Anyway, he convinced me to at least go for a 2-week vacation. To come here for a 2-week vacation. So I came here for a 2-week vacation, and guess what? I haven't left. That was in 1996 when I came over here. I came, I always carried a British passport, but I had never lived or worked here. I didn't want to particularly live here. I didn't even care that the new medication was available here, the antiretroviral therapy that now we call combination therapy. But what I cared about was to go into hospital to find out, how close I was to death so that, I could make some decisions. Well, I don't know how many of you know about the science of HIV, what it involves. But when you are infected, the HIV infects cells that are called T cells. And those are the cells that actually protect you from infection. But once the HIV gets into the nucleus of the CD4 cells, as they are sometimes called, they start infecting the cells, and therefore you have less and less of those cells. Therefore, you can't fight off infection, and therefore, anything, can kill you literally, because many of the people that die from opportunistic infections that infect them. And the normal person usually has anywhere between 500 to 1,600 T cells or CD4 cells. Well, when I went to Newham General and they did a CD4 count or a T cell count, I had one T4 cell. And I named it after my favorite singer who died, Makeba. And I thought, Makeba, how are we going to survive this? But they also told me at that particular time that I had AIDS. And hearing that word, for the first time, I actually cried, and I really, really started to grasp what was happening to me. They tried to convince me that, you're a British citizen, you could stay here. There are lots of people, especially Africans, who do not have a status in this country, who can't access treatment, but you don't have these sort of issues, so it's entirely up to you. I said no. So I went back to my brother's flat, and I talked to this other Ugandan woman who was there, and she says, I usually go to this place where, we talk about different issues. You can come with me since you're here and see what it's like. Well, I went to this support group, essentially for people living with HIV. and I saw there were about 60 women and maybe 5 men. The majority were Africans, and that is the reason why I'm still here, part of the reason why I'm still here. Hearing those women talk about their lives, you know, literally, you know, being dead and then, you know, taking treatments and having this sort of Lazarus effect on them. And I thought, I want to be like them. I want to just get on with my life. That was the turning point for me. I've never shut up since. I constantly talk about HIV, especially to African communities who seem to never wake up from denial. Denial, just not wanting to test, not wanting to know, not, you know, treating other people living with HIV within the communities with such disdain. And these are relatives, brothers, sisters, who are so fearful of disclosing their HIV status that they would rather die than talk to their mothers, to their fathers, to their sisters about this issue. But Africans in the UK don't think this is an issue for us. This is not a priority for us. Yet, we are one of 2 groups that are most affected in this country. The highest rate of infections is among our groups of people. And many of the children living with HIV in this country, many of the children, and I would dare to say maybe over 90% of the children who are living with HIV in this country are African or have an African parent. And many of these children are now growing up, they're becoming sexually active, but many of the parents, thinking that they are protecting them, haven't told them that they're HIV positive. The multitude of issues surrounding the issue of HIV is incredible. Incredible. The HIV-related stigma that's keeping people infecting others unknowingly because they haven't disclosed or haven't tested. Many Africans in this country test late, and many die because even treatment can't do anything because it's too late. The body is totally shattered. Many people haven't tested. You talk to people and they say, oh no, I don't want to know, but they would rather kill their loved ones by not knowing. Yet treatment provides a longer life. I'm an example here. 23 years. I'm going to be 50 years old next year. And I'm having a birthday celebration that will last a week because it means so much to me to be alive. It means so much to me. And we are now having an AIDS-free generation because if you're an HIV-positive woman and access treatment because you know your status, you can have children who are not HIV positive. And of course, we all know how you can protect, well, everybody can protect themselves from HIV. Blood that is being treated and, you know, being treated and there's no infections. making sure you use protection, condoms. I have an article in the Independent today. Please read it. Condoms, HIV, and the Pope. That's the article. And using protection, because unprotected sex with a person living with HIV, probably a person who hasn't been diagnosed, probably a person who has just picked up the infection, you're almost guaranteed to get HIV. If you are actually having a relationship with somebody like me who's been on treatment for a long time, your risk of getting HIV is reduced quite a lot. Not eliminated, but reduced quite a lot. We know that children get their HIV from their mothers. That's another route. And also injecting, sharing, injecting equipment. Those are the different ways of getting HIV. And so everybody knows that. There is HIV in saliva. A lot of people keep asking me, how about saliva? How about if I kiss somebody? Will I get HIV? Blah, blah. No, there is HIV in saliva, not enough to infect anybody. We don't have any evidence of anybody getting infected through saliva. A few things to leave you with. HIV is just a virus. Just a virus. It's not a moral issue. It's not a crime. So wear a red ribbon to remember those who have gone before us, to celebrate those who are living, and to advocate for everybody to get universal access to treatment, to prevention, to care, to support, and to possibly a cure. And this affects especially our people in Africa. So please, on World AIDS Day, which is 1st of December, wear a ribbon to just say that. Thank you.